So this is the final video on finding lengths using sine rule. This is number 3, so please follow along. Use your pencil and your ruler to draw your triangles, pen for your notes. Pause the video whenever you like so you can just catch up with whatever you're doing, and leave any comments at the bottom if you wish to do so. This is question number 3. And we're still finding the value of x. Let's draw ourselves a triangle. Orientation doesn't matter. Make sure you draw it big enough so you can see what's going on, but don't do it too big. Otherwise it looks clumsy, which nobody wants. There's our triangle. This time I'm going to label the vertices slightly differently. So F, G, and H, but it really doesn't matter what we label these sides, and we'll talk about that in a second. Quite clearly a non-right angle triangle. Let's put some values in. So 63 degrees here, and we'll have 12.4 centimeters, and then we'll have 58 degrees here, and then the x on this side this time. So again, non-right angle triangle. If we've got this angle and its corresponding side happening, then sine rule is a good way forward for these kind of questions. So first of all, let's write sine rule down now. The difference here is that obviously the sine rule we've used so far, a over sine A equals b over sine B equals c over sine C, has got a load of a, b's and c's in it. But these letters, remember, just represent unknown values. So we can use any letters we want. We don't have to use a, b and c at all. That's just how we kind of learn it in the first place. But we can replace any of these letters with F or G or H, so long as when we're writing the formula out, these two are always matched up. So we always have the lowercase letter on the top here representing the side, and the uppercase letter on the bottom here representing the angle. As long as we are consistent with that, then we can call the letters whatever we want. So we're going to label this triangle exactly the same way. So we've got F in the top corner is F, so opposite F, we're going to call that lowercase f, and then opposite G, the angle G, we're going to call that lowercase g, and opposite capital H over here, we're going to call that lowercase h. So remember, it's always uppercase for the angles and lowercase letters for the sides. We can adjust our formula slightly now because we haven't got A's, B's and C's, but it doesn't really matter so long as the side is above the sine of the angle. So A over sine A equals B over sine B. We can change this to whatever we're asked for. So in this case, we're looking at finding G. G is x. So we can use G over sine G. So little g over sine capital G. And because we've got the values for H here, capital H and little h, we can then use H over sine capital H. Okay, again, we don't need the F here. We don't have the angle here. We don't have the side here. So this is not much use to us in this particular question. Okay, but in a different question, it might be we can work out this angle using angles in triangles add up to 180. But here we don't need to do that. Now we can just sub in. So G over sine G. G is x over here, so that's little g, and capital G is 58 degrees over here. So we can sub in x over sine 58 equals, and h, little h is here, and capital H is this angle down here. Remember, if I'm going a bit too quickly, you can always pause just to kind of catch up. But seeing as this is the third example, I'm just speeding things up a little bit, and h, which is 12.4 over, sorry, that looks like a subtraction, 12.4 over sine capital H sine 63. And now we just need to solve this equation. So again, x over sine 58, this is division, so if we times both sides by sine 58, times the left by sine 58, and you get just x because it cancels the bottom, times the right by sine 58. So we're just going to put that on the top of our fraction. Oh, moving the screen again, sorry. Over sine 63. And then we can get our calculator out, bung that in your calculator, and you should get your answer for x. 12.4 times sine 58 divided by sine 63. So 11.80, etc. So x is 11.8 centimeters to 3SF. So it really doesn't matter whether they call it A, B, C, F, G, H, as long as you are consistent with your labeling. That lowercase letter representing the length opposite the uppercase letter representing the angle. They're all kind of interchangeable. You can use whichever letter you like, and it works in exactly the same kind of way. Examples 1, 2, and 3 all represent questions where we're asked for x, where x is a length. In the next videos, we're going to look at 4, 5, and 6, and in 4, 5, and 6, we'll be looking at how we can use sine rule to find out the values of angles. Thank you.